What's going on, Dodgers Nation? No sound. Okay, what's going on, Dodgers Nation? Doug McCain here. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DMac_LA. Thanks for rocking with us here after the Dodgers' dramatic walk-off win. Gavin Lux, the redemption game for Gavin Lux. Look, it's better to be good than Lux. It's better to be Luxy than good, and Gavin Lux was both today. Gavin Lux, he looked like he was the dog in this one. Everyone on Twitter, they're trying to trade Gavin Lux. They're trying to say Gavin Lux shouldn't be out there on the field after his costly error allowed 4 unearned runs for the Phillies there in the second inning. And what does he do? He turns it all the way around. He steps up big, and he gets the big walk-off double there late in the game. So give me all your thoughts on today's walk-off win by the Dodgers, all your thoughts on this series, because it's been a wild series, but today will be known as the Gavin Lux redemption game. The Dodgers get their first dramatic walk-off of the season after such a frustrating series, a series where it felt like what could go wrong did go wrong for the Dodgers. The arms going through a slump, the bats not having the timely big hits that we've seen from them. Yes, they've had generated some offense, save for last night where they scored just 3 runs, but this series really had a chance to win every single one of these games. I mean, the first game they lost 9-7, second game they lost 12-10, last night 8-3, but today the Dodgers, they come up big in the 9th inning. Cody Bellinger with the triple there with 2 outs. Let's not forget Cody Bellinger gets things started with that triple in the 9th inning to get this Dodgers offense going with 2 outs, and then Gavin Lux. How poetic was that? The redemption, the vindication there. He's able to get that big double, and he doesn't just tie it, he wins it for the Dodgers. So really such an exciting game today and such a much-needed game for this Dodger team. Look, I was in that clubhouse Thursday, and really the morale was a little down. I mean, you started to see the Dodgers in a funk. We know this time last year the Dodgers were starting to, they got in that funk where they lost 15 of 20 games. They lost 4 games last year in June consecutively where they got swept by the Padres, and they lost the game to the Cubs where they got no hit. So to have a game like this to turn things around at the end of the week, to kind of pick up momentum and really start to focus on the good things on this series. When you focus on the fact that Justin Turner's turned it around, Mookie Betts is playing like a franchise player, then Gavin Lux having that double right there to win the game for the Dodgers. Such a nice piece of hitting. And look, that's a pitch that they were having success with him against him earlier in the game. I mean, early in the game, Nola in the 5th, he strikes out Lux on a curveball in the inner half, bottom of the zone, and you see late in the game, Corey Knebels didn't have as sharp of a break as Austin Nola's, but he's able to turn on that pitch, hit it into into right field, and the Dodgers prevail with a dramatic 5-4 victory. And let me know where you represent Dodgers Nation from today. Give me those city zip codes, area codes. Let me know down below. And then also give me your one-word reaction to Gavin Lux walk-off shot, because the walk-off double there in the bottom of the 9th inning. I'm telling you, Gavin Lux, he needed this. He had been going through a slump, especially in this series. And it was nice to see him really get off the schneid and put it together for the Dodgers. So give me all your thoughts and reactions for this series that's been definitely a frustrating series for the Dodgers. But here we go. We got no sound, bro. Here we go. Yeah, guys. All right, here we go. But Lux for MVP. Lux coming in clutch from Deborah Young. Yeah, Gavin clutch. Clutch Gavin Lux. Cody Bellinger credit for giving Lux a chance. That's from Shea. Yeah, that cannot be understated. We got Belly, Luxy, Redemption, Genie, Anthony Keene. Hard not to be romantic about baseball. Yeah, absolutely. Is Rio still alive? Yeah, he had the Metallica music work from IRSK. We got Dodgers playing uninspired ball. No reason for it. Pika Peep. Yeah, I mean, look, before that, I mean, it did feel like the Dodgers were listless, and they just didn't have that big timely hit in some of these different games. I mean, you saw what happened Friday night. You had the bases loaded, and then you had some key double plays. I mean, you had a key double play. Mookie grounds into that double play. Then you had Justin Turner grounds into that key double play. And then tonight I thought it was going to be the same thing after Trey Turner grounded into that double play there in this, and then you said in the 8th inning. So I think in the 8th, Mookie, he gets on base. Then of course Freddie, he was able to draw that walk, and then Trey Turner grounded that double play. Then Mookie was at 3rd, and then Will Smith, he hits that hot shot there that goes for an out. So, look, I mean, that's just how baseball is. It's a wacky and wild sport. Sometimes the ball doesn't bounce your way, but today the Dodgers, they stepped up and they refused to lose. They said, you know what, enough's enough. Thank you very much. Alfonso Lucio, Multiverse Gavin gave Phillies their 4 runs and gave Dodgers their winning run. Yeah, I mean, it's just really an amazing story when you think about it. To me, this will be one of the more memorable games of the year, and not just because of the walk-off, because of, like you said, him overcoming that error early in the game. It was just a simple play that Gavin Lux, I'm sure he'll tell you right after the game that he should have made that play, and there's no question about it. But Gavin Lux is a competitor. Gavin Lux is a guy that he's accountable, and he understands that what he means to this team. And I think for him to go out there and really redeem himself was just spectacular. And I hope this really puts him on a nice run here. I hope that he gains momentum from this, and you see the carryover into the series. Because, look, you jump to that second inning, and we're going to talk about Michael Grove's first big league start, his big league debut in a little bit. I was impressed with him as well. I thought the way he commanded that curveball at times, I think you're seeing he does have some life on that fastball. For really, it's about the command, but really put him behind the 8 ball there was the fact that Gavin Lux did have the error there in the second inning. So let's start right there. So top of the second, Michael Grove, he strikes, and look, give him credit too, goes out there, first inning, a 1-2-3 inning on 13 pitches, 9 strikes, had the feel for that breaking ball early, touched almost 97 on the gun, and then we jump to top of the second. So this really seemed like it was going to be the game here, where the story of the game was going to be told early on after that Lux error, because he strikes out Castellanos with a heater, and then Segura gets the first base hit off of Grove, a fastball bottom of the zone. Not a bad pitch, but a nice piece of hitting there by Segura. And then he gets Herrera looking at a fastball down the middle, got away with one. And then Smith kind of wanted up, but he does get him out. So that's with 2 outs. So he had 2 outs there in the second inning, was 1 out away from getting out of that inning scoreless. And then he loses Camargo. He walks him. And then Stotty hits that ground ball to second, and it goes right through the legs of Gavin Lux. It goes as an error, an E on 4. And Segura, he scores on the play, giving the Phillies an early 1-0 lead. And then next batter, Stubbs, he hits a ground ball double to right that scores Camargo to put the Phils up 2-0. And then with runners on second and third, next batter, 0-2 pitch, Hoskins singles to right. Lux made a diving attempt at it. So I think when you saw right there, the fact that Gavin Lux, he went all out on that play. He was doing everything he possibly could to try to end that inning, but he wasn't able to. And he was trying to stop the bleeding for Michael Grove out there in his first start, but he wasn't able to get to that one. And then that allowed the Phillies to play 2 more runs to make it 4-0 at that point, all runs unearned. And then Bones singled to left, giving the Phillies runners on first and second, 2 outs, and Schwarber at the plate. And thankfully, Grover was able to get Schwarber to fly out. So 35 pitches there, 4 unearned runs. And then later in the game, of course, Gavin Lux, he goes from 0 to hero. And what a special day. It was such a memorable day. But here we go. Gavin Clutch, walk him off. Yeah, Gavin Clutch. Awesome. That's from William Andrews. Douglas Lowe, nice clutch hit, but Lux still sucks. Wow, Douglas Lowe, way to keep it positive. Can you imagine that? Some guy gets the walk-off shot, he redeems himself, and you still want to say he sucks down there in the comment section. But hey, like I said, the beauty of this show, guys, is that I can discuss opinions that I don't even agree upon, and that's the cool thing about the show, because we don't always have to agree. But then I read your takes even if I don't agree. We got 90037 Dodgers Nation. Linda, give Roberts credit for hit and run in ninth. Gave the walk-off. Yeah, it was a great call there, and you saw the Dodgers were aggressive throughout this. You saw Trey Turner with the steal. You saw the Chris Taylor steal, and you saw Chris Taylor get thrown out on the steal. So that definitely is something that this team is trying to do. They're currently 11th in all of Major League Baseball when it comes to swipe bags. Iris K from Studio City. Don't drink the Lux Kool-Aid from Gary Glenn. Yeah, I think he avoids Lux in Berg from Craig. Good one. One word, phew, fast from Carl Summer. We got Joseph Gonzalez. Dodgers will sweep the Phils in Phillies revenge tour time. Yeah, I like that mentality right there, Joseph. Two Feathers, greetings from Los Angeles, 213, baby. Matty Man Dodge, watch. Lux goes 3 for 23 in the next 5 games. Yeah, the thing about Gavin Lux is, I think today, early in the game, there were some times where you saw some at-bats, especially early on, when he was whiffing at those changeups, bottom of the zone, and he was chasing pitches kind of on the edges right there. But I think with Gavin Lux, the key is really getting himself into those hitters counts and laying off some of those pitches down and in and finding him pitches that he can drive. And I think you're seeing a lot of quick at-bats with Lux, whether it be today he struck out on 3 pitches there in the 3rd inning. And I think that he's a player that, look, you can tell, I mean, he's even talked about in his piece that Jack Harris wrote for the LA Times, getting over the yips he had, where it's a mental game with Gavin Lux. And I think that with Luxy, you want to get himself in the right frame of mind. I think that boosting his confidence is going to be huge for him. And I think having that moment that he had where he proved that, hey, I can go up there in a clutch situation with the game on the line, and I can say, hey, I'm going to put the game in my hands. I'm going to win this for my team. And he just stepped up to the plate, and he did just that. So, look, until you accomplish something like that, until you know you can do something like that, it's always in the back of your mind. Can I perform? Can I come through in those situations? Well, look, he's checked off that box now. He knows he's Gavin Clutch in that situation, and it's something for him to build upon. That's what you look for young players. You look for situations and moments like this that they're never going to forget and that they can build on as far as moving forward when it comes to momentum. But if you look at Gavin Lux in the last 15 games, he has a 630 OPS. He's 9 for his last 37, and two doubles are his only extra base hits. And I think with Gavin Lux is he had a really nice start to this season. And the big talk with him was hitting the ball hard, having the plate discipline, not expanding the zone, making hard contact, like I said, and also not chasing. So he has to kind of get back to what really made him one of the better hitters in this lineup to start the season. So I think that's going to be huge. I think when it comes to what Gavin Lux is able to do for this team, it's vital. And I think him and Cody Bellinger, they showed that at the bottom of the lineup, look, heading into the series, the Phillies and the Dodgers, when it comes to OPS, had the top 2, 7, 8, 9 hitters in the game. And you saw this series, you had Stott. He was coming through, and like he was struggling throughout this entire season. And you had guys at the bottom of this Phillies order that they came through again and again. And the Dodgers, at the end, they were able to show why they have such a deep and long lineup themselves. So I think that was massive. But here we go. D-backs are hot right now. Ugh. It's about that time we finally won. Lux has talent. This is from Pika Peep. Lux has talent, but he just is not long-term material. Dodgers, in my eyes, simple as that. I think it's still premature to make that determination, in my personal opinion, because I think that you look at the team control. Look, I mean, he's under team control until 2027. If you hit on a player like that, a guy who was formerly the top prospect in all of Major League Baseball, a guy that does have those quick hands in the zone. You see he's a second baseman that can hit for power, and now that he's learning to play the outfield, and he's learning to make those reads in left field, in center field, and he's trying to become a more instinctive outfielder as well as having the ability to play the middle infield spots as well as third base last year. He's a guy that is increasing his value if he can prove that he has that positional versatility that this organization covets. I think with Lux, it's just him being able to be a consistent hitter and improving against left-handed pitchers. So I think if he can continue to do that and build up, it doesn't happen overnight. This is a process. I mean, progress isn't linear when it comes to big leaguers. I mean, look, show me a sport that's harder than Major League Baseball. Show me something that's harder to do than hit a Major League Baseball pitch. I mean, it's very difficult. There's not many things to do. I mean, maybe step in the ring with Mike Tyson at his peak, but I think when it comes to Gavin Lux, I mean, I wouldn't sell my stock on Lux. I think that he still has the potential to be an everyday player for the Dodgers, and I think that you also have to factor him in when you talk about a contingency plan if Trey Turner walks. And I think that at this point, there's nothing that I've seen that leads me to believe that Trey Turner is going to sign an extension with the Dodgers. So if that's the case, let's not forget, Jacob Amaya is having a really good year. He's still probably, he's not at the big league level quite yet, but he's making progress this year. You have Michael Busch, who's raking down on the farm. So, I mean, at some point, you have to realize it's better to hit big on players that you've developed personally that are under so many years of team control versus always having to go to market and sign big free agents where at the back end of those contracts you're not seeing the value from them. So you really have to be patient. Hopefully these lottery tickets, they cash in on them. But here we go. Grove pitched a good game. No thanks to the defense. That's from Terry Benthal. Yeah, down below in the comment section, let me know what is your grade for Michael Grove's first outing. Let me know down below. We got moments like that ending our Why I Love Base from Dylan Hare. Moments like that are why I love baseball. Love that Lux got that redemption. How good the team swamping them for that walk-off. That must have felt fantastic. You're absolutely right, Dylan. I mean, to me, I was saying earlier, like, we need to do a reverse Fresh Prince of Bel-Air with this Phillies team. Instead of Fresh Prince coming to Los Angeles, coming to Bel-Air, we need to do the reverse and send them back to Philly because they're really a pain this entire series. So for them to get that at the end and just kind of put things back together and understand that this is a long 162-game season, the Dodgers, they could have easily taken 3 of 4 from the Phillies, and you would have felt good about it considering how hot and potent that lineup is. I mean, you got Bryce Harper there, who's hotter than the devil's armpit, just doing work. And look, he had to go out today because they had that PRP shot. So they took advantage of him not being in the lineup. But, yeah, I think winning in the end there and in the fashion that they did with the walk-off, with Cody Bellinger and Gavin Lux having success down in that part of the order, I think that this team now has a spark and has some momentum. Because I'll be honest with you, look, you have Hanser Alberto down there in the dugout. He's dancing away. But sometimes it just felt listless during this series. But Iris K, I love walk-offs. Lone Wolf Gavin really is a star. Two Feathers, thank you, D-Mac and Dodgers Nation team, for bringing these post-game messages to the masses. Two Feathers, hey, man, I would want to be anywhere in the world. Maybe be on the field in that mob at home plate. That'd be kind of fun. If I was in the Dodgers, that'd probably be a close second. But, hey, you know I love chopping it up and talking Dodger baseball with you guys. But Grove did well. Still needs to add a good established starter. Bob Collins, yeah, you're preaching to the choir. If you guys have been following my videos and my post-game show, I've been very adamant that the Dodgers need to add another quality starting pitcher, because if Julio Urias and Walker Buehler can't be those top number 1 and 2 guys, it could be a long year for the Dodgers starting rotation, because you really can't count on the durability of Clayton Kershaw. The days of him making 30 starts, those are long gone. Maybe you'll get 20 starts from Kershaw, at best 25 starts, but you can't say, hey, he's going to be a guy that's going to be our number 3 starter that pitches like an ace on some nights. You can't bank on that, considering all the mileage and wear and tear that's on him at this point in his career. And also you add the fact that he's coming off arm injury himself, where he had to get a PRP shot. So yeah, we'll definitely discuss that too, what the Dodgers need to do with their starting rotation. I think, look, the people I've talked to at the minor league level, they're telling me Bobby Miller isn't ready. So everyone who says Bobby Miller, you guys can stop that right now, because Bobby Miller isn't ready for the big leagues at this point. I mean, if you look at his ERA, it's at over 5, still working out some mechanical things, still trying to refine some things and smooth things out. But I'm telling you, this Dodgers organization, they're very cautious with pitchers. I mean, Michael Grove wasn't just the first Double-A pitcher that Andrew Friedman had promoted to the big league level to make a start. He was the first player in his entire career they had done that to. So they're going to be cautious with Bobby Miller, considering how much they have invested in him. They're not going to rush him by any means. And two, just from a pure stuff and experience standpoint, he's just not ready to go. You remember in 2020, there was no minor league season. He was at the alternate site. So he's not ready, so we need to cut that out, stop the Bobby Miller talk. He's just not ready as of yet. I think personally, at the end of the day, the Dodgers will go to market to add another starter. I firmly believe that, because when you consider the fact that who do they have heading into the 2021 season? Who did they have? They had Clayton Kershaw, Dustin May before the injury. You had Julio Urias. You had Walker Buehler. They still signed Trevor Bauer, knowing they had those guys coming off a shortened 2020 season. And then you add the fact that during that season, Dustin May goes out with an injury, has to have TJ. Clayton Kershaw goes down with an injury. Trevor Bauer, he goes at administrative leave. What they do, they traded for Max Scherzer. So knowing that, it tells me that this Dodgers front office firmly believes and they are completely aware that they need to add another starter, and they need to do it outside of the organization. There are not as many internal options as you would expect. I think that Michael Grove at best is a back-end starter. I think his fastball definitely is going to play up as long as he commands it. I do like the fact that he can throw that curveball in the zone, and I like the soft contact and the quick outs he was getting with that four-seam fastball. But you're not going to rely upon a guy like Michael Grove or Ryan Pepio, guys that are still a little bit of a ways away, when you're considering that this is a win-now team. This is a last-dance team. This idea that this Dodger team is some team that's built for a massive window of world championships, that's just not the case. Yes, they have Freddie Freeman locked up for 6 years. Yes, they have Mookie Betts locked up for 11 years. But you look at Trey Turner, he is most likely going to be gone after this season, in my opinion. I mean, I think there's a chance they sign him, but as of right now, my gut tells me that they're not going to sign Trey Turner long term. And you also add the fact that Justin Turner could be gone. Max Muncy could be gone. I mean, this core for the most part. Also Clayton Kershaw. So yes, this team does have a window, but I think it's very much predicated on this season. Craig Kimbrell is in the last year. You talk about Blake Trine. I mean, this team's going to look very different in the next few years, and I think this is a year that if you want to win a World Series with Clayton Kershaw, you have to do it this season. But here we go. Back into the comment section, YouTube favorite channel. Yeah, guys, be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and yeah, we're going to start jumping into this game, and yeah, we're going to start jumping into this game, but here we go. D-Mac, you are ASMR. That's from Quackpot. Pika Peep asking too much of Lux, Doug. Besides, if the Dodgers were in rebuild mode, they can afford to take as much time as they want for Lux to get himself right. Shea, haters out there, do you really think he wants bad for this team, is a good hitter, and happens to be the best of them? The good part is he fixed his damage. Yeah, a lot of people out there still seems like a little upset with Lux for that error early on in the game. But let's Lux would take a starter for Lux, though. Quack the Doug. I think that, look, Luis Castillo is a guy I've been a fan of, but has he put it together for an entire season? He really hasn't. I mean, he has that stuff that plays up. There's no question about it. And he's a guy that has top 5 to 10 stuff if everything's right. And I think the Dodgers will only help him from that aspect. But some injuries, some command issues. I mean, he's under one more year of team control after this year. So the Reds could be looking for a king's ransom for some of these players. I think Frankie Montas is a very interesting pitcher that if you guys have been following me, you know I've been advocating for more than a year now. So I would definitely consider that, but I would not give up Gavin Lux for Frankie Montas right now. I think that they have a lot invested in Lux, and I can tell you from people I've talked to that's not a part of the plan right now. I can assure you that from people I talked to that they're not going to deal Gavin Lux for Frankie Montas or a player like that, because I'm telling you, Gavin Lux, he's a guy that is a contingency plan player in the event that Trey Turner walks at the end of this season. Careless Whisper, Lux, the master of the game. So happy for Lux. Worried about his error. He's still young. He needs more chances. Craig, here's your grades for Michael Grove's outing. Craig Osterberg, B. We got Grove gets a B+ from Deborah Young. We got here we go. Back there. Oh, here we go. Roberts needs to give Rios a shot pound for pound. Yeah, I think that it's tough. I mean, you saw he went 2 weeks and had 2 at-bats, and one of the reasons for that is the Dodgers faced a lot of left-handed pitchers, but you saw how much success he had in the Pittsburgh series. He goes 5 for 10, had the home run, had the doubles, was major in that series, but I think for him it's about, as Doc likes to say, keeping him relevant, and like I said, the last thing I want to see when it comes to Babe Rios is having him be Edwin Frios. You really want him up there in situations and continuing to build, because, look, he's a player that maybe if he continues to have success, the Dodgers say, look, we're going with a veteran lineup where because the DH, we're not going to be utilizing our bench as much. Maybe they include him in a trade if a team's looking for a big league player, a big league ready player, and you could try to sell Edwin Rios high. I'm not advocating for that. I'm just kind of looking at pieces right now, knowing that this Dodgers team, they do have to add another starting pitcher. I'll tell you this right now. If the Dodgers don't add another starting pitcher, I don't like their chances of winning a World Series. I really don't. But yeah, let's go back to the comment section. Hey, Doug, what's up? That's from Ray Barsimon. You got BBB. Bring Bauer back from Genie. Look, Trevor Bauer, he firmly believes. And I'll tell you, I don't know. Actually, I probably should talk about that. Pika Peep, Dodgers should go after Brad Keller of the Royals. It's an interesting name. Nathan Eovaldi, you got Molly. I mean, there's names out there, and you're going to see more names emerge as teams continue to realize they're not contenders and they need to trade off some pieces. So, look, be patient. He's not going to make a desperate move. The Dodgers will have David Price back pretty soon. We'll get some innings out of him, hopefully, if they don't find a trade for him. You got Ryan Pepio starting on Tuesday. We'll see what he's able to do. Michael Grove, of course, he comes up, makes that spot start today. And yeah, we're going to talk about Michael Grove. I mean, with the four-seam fastball, the slider, the curveball, I think today with Michael Grove, like I said, he goes out there and gives you a really quick and efficient first inning, and you're feeling really good about it. The second inning, he was 1 out away, and then you had the Gavin Lux error that proved very costly and led to 4 unearned runs for the Dodgers right there. But I think all in all, I was impressed with his confidence, with his demeanor. The moment didn't seem too big for him out there. I think the only issue with, and look, the fact that heading into this, he had never gone past 80 pitches this season. He made 5 starts, and Michael Grove, he goes 70 pitches in 3 2/3, gives up 4 hits, had 3 punch-outs. Then he had the walk. So I think with Michael Grove, I think for him it's just getting ahead in the count too. I mean, getting ahead in the count and just finding a way to work on the command of that fastball, because the fastball velocity, it does play up. I mean, if you look at it, he was hitting 97 on the gun a few times, and he was living between 94 and 96 throughout the game, and he was consistently hitting 95, but he has to command it. And you saw him missing his target quite a few times there. I think that you can blame Gavin Lux, but he did make some mistakes that the Phillies didn't capitalize on. He left some stuff in the middle of the plate that the Phillies just didn't get to. So when it comes to Grove, I think that, your first start, you got to get out of the way, and I like what I saw from him, and I like the way he battled, and he didn't let the Gavin Lux error get to him, too. He was still able to get out of that inning. He did have the 3 punch-outs, but and he also got some really nice swing and miss, too. I mean, he did get some nice swing and miss, 8 swing and misses on some of those pitches, and then 10 for 19 on first pitch strike. So I think for him it's about getting that first pitch strike across and trying to get ahead in the count. So that's going to be big for him moving forward. D-Mac is the man. Thanks, pound for pound. You're the man. Right back at you. Rebecca, agree with Pete more than Miller. We should go after Luis Castillo from the Reds. We got Boomer, Assassin. Rios should be starting over Muncy. Yeah, I mean, it was nice to see Max Muncy. I think that there are some moments that he does look lost at the plate. Make no mistake about it. He was able to get today was able to get, he had an RBI today. So Max Muncy, he goes 1 for 4. When you talk about, and they are starting to move him down in the lineup. So, but in the 5th spot, Max Muncy, you're talking about a single there. And he's taking a lot of fastballs in the zone. I think that until he proves that he can be aggressive and he can start to rake with pitches inside the zone and not chase changeups like he was doing today, he really can. He needs to move down. I think when it comes to Max Muncy as well, I mean, he can handle that changeup as long as they're hanging it and he can catch up to it. But really, he just hasn't looked like himself at the plate. But here we go. Let's jump back into the comment section. We are going to break this game down, guys. But great. By the way, who was your player of the game? Obviously, it was Gavin Lux. What are your thoughts on Michael Grove? Has your confidence level a little shaken for this starting rotation for this Dodgers pitching staff? I mean, I thought also, what were your thoughts on Yency Almonte? By the way, I think my man Yency Almonte with the pitch that went through the legs of Herrera there. I mean, how many times have you seen? Now I'm going to have to do a whole breakdown of this game because it was wild. But finally, a win walk-off as well. Was following it on my phone. I wish they would show more live games here in London. Oh, nice. Nice. We got from across the pond. Bauer had no criminal charges. A 1-1 game this week and lost 65 games. I'm fine with our players. I want a new manager too. Many good games. Many good players. Belly really poured it on in the 9th from Deborah Young. Pika Peep. Yeah, I mean, Cody Bellinger going up there. And he's a guy, too, I think he really has this. I don't know if it's because he's the belly, Cody Bellinger, man. He's on that belly gas, as you guys like to call it. But he really does, I think, have this very helpful amnesia where he doesn't let these strikeouts get to him and these bad plate appearances get to him. He really takes it one plate appearance at a time. Today he goes 1 for 4. And he was able to go up there and get that big base hit and get that triple off Knebel. By the way, Knebel, you've once again earned your once a Dodger, always a Dodger status back for blowing that for the Dodgers. So you love you for that one. But, yeah, it was a really nice piece of hitting. And also factor in it was 2-strike hitting. And for him to get that four-seam fastball in the inner half and just rip it like he did, that's a pitch that he can handle. And, look, you're starting to see him have more success with high-velocity fastballs. And that's another step in the right direction for Cody Bellinger. So, yeah, I mean, he was definitely a hero today as well. Of course, the man of the hour is Gavin Lux, but it was great to see Cody Bellinger have success and extend that inning and give Gavin Lux an opportunity to be the hero. But we get I still like my World Series prediction. Blue Jays Dodgers over the Blue Jays in 7. Soki, great win. Oscar, Lux is killing us. He pull it off, but he will keep killing us. That is from Ray. Lux is our lucky charm. How about Luxy charm? How about that? Isabel, people are scared about COVID because they're not vaccinated. what is that? Okay, when is Heaney coming back? Seth Griebel. So he's still a ways away. I mean, you're probably looking at something in the 3 weeks to 4 weeks range. I mean, they're trying to. You see him in the dugout, and yeah, he's still a little bit of a ways away. Knebel still low-key a Dodger from Neil. We got Boomer Esiason. Agree, we still need a solid starter. We're toast. We got Seth. They should have Mac play DH every day till he gets his groove back. Lux can play second till Max gets right. We got Darren. Doesn't matter if he broke the law. So we got a Bauer conversation, I see. Carl agreed on the comment about that idiot that tried to grab Lux's hit. Yeah, I know. I'm going to have to do a little breakdown. Almonte is fired from Anthony Keene. Yeah, Yancy Almonte, he's got that filthy stuff that plays up, and since he ditched that four-seam fastball, you're seeing him go with a nice, simple sinker-slider combination. It's filthy, the way it breaks away from right-handed hitters, and yeah, he's going to be a weapon, I think, and I think that's going to be by necessity because, yeah, the Dodgers starting to see those injuries pile up. Do you think we could trade Price, David, maybe for a bag of chips and a have drink Coke Zero? No, but yeah, I think that you could possibly trade David Price, and if you could get a little financial relief, it would be nice. But you're not going to get much more than a low-level prospect, and really it would be more about having a team eat a couple millions off the $16 million the Dodgers are paying him this season. But Knebel knew what he was doing. I like that one from Seth Gribble. Phillies bullpen never ceases to suck. Yeah, the Phillies bullpen, they did their thing. Lucky Lux from JP. Chris Taylor doing better. Yeah, and I thought him laying off that fastball high from Knebel was clutch. Clutch Taylor getting on base. But yeah, jump back into this game. So, top of the fourth inning. For one pitch, one out to Stotts, a fastball. Then on a 3-2 pitch, he walks Stubbs, missing with the fastball, slider, the curveball. And you could see that he was fatigued. You saw Grove. I'm calling him the Grove. That's my nickname, the Grove. Got to work out something else, but that's what I'm going with right now. And you saw that what he was able to do in that inning. On a 3-2 pitch, he gets Hoskins to fly out. And that was it for Michael Grove. Looked a little gassed there in the fourth. Started to miss with his command even more than he was earlier. So, but all in all, I thought the first he was sharp, he was crisp. The second, you had some really nice moments, getting that strikeout to Castellanos, getting those three punch-outs. And I thought for the most part, Michael Grove, you got to feel really good if you're him, what he was able to accomplish today in his first big league start, and just kind of the adversity of dealing with those errors. And look, he gets those three punchies, gave those 4 hits, did have some walks, but all in all, I think the fact that they threw him into the Wolves against this Phillies lineup that had been so hot in this series, and for him to really just kind of overcome that and give the Dodgers 3 2/3, I thought it was impressive. Then we go to the bottom of the fourth inning. So Trey Turner, he draws a 4-pitch walk. Then Trey Turner still second. Dodgers 18th stolen base of the year. And then on a 2-2 pitch, Will Smith single to left center on a curveball, enter third. Nice job staying back, getting his hands in to drive that one into left field. Trey Turner actually holds up at third on the play, and that gave the Dodgers runners on the corners with 1 out. Next batter, Max Muncy, on a 2-1 count. He singles to right to score Trey Turner to give the Dodgers another run, making it 4-2. So Dodgers get another run there. By the way, we got to go back to the bottom of the third inning. Can't not talk about Mookie's home run. So in the bottom of the third, Gavin Lux, he chased that changeup low, and then Mookie Betts, he hits his team-leading 7th bomb of the season. Back-to-back nights, back-to-back games with a home run for Mookie Betts. He just crushed that cutter right there, and that gave the Dodgers their first run of the game. So I thought that was big, too, after that the Lux error there in the second, for the Dodgers just to get on the board pretty quickly after that, with that Mookie Betts home run. And just like that, Mookie Betts is playing like the franchise player, and he's a player that a lot of people thought, where they were talking about him not eating meat, his hip, and this and that. Look, Mookie Betts is still Mookie Betts, I'll tell you that right there. So the Dodgers did get a run Dodgers were able to get a run there in the third inning thanks to Mookie's home run. And then the fourth inning, they pick up a run thanks to Max Muncy's RBI single. And then you have to jump all the way to the bottom of the eighth inning. And in the bottom of the 8th, they get a leadoff walk. So let's not talk about everyone's talking about the leadoff, the walk-off for Gavin Lux, the walk-off double there late in the game. But how about the leadoff walk for Lux in the 8th inning? So he draws that leadoff free pass, and then Mookie, he doubles down the line in left. Lux scores from first, and the Dodgers pull within 1. So Mookie Betts, another great piece of hitting, hard contact. He doubles down the left field line, and then Gavin Lux, let's talk about a guy who's in the 95th percentile in sprint speed. Gavin Lux turned on that flux capacitor, if you know what I mean, and he scores on the play, and that was a much-needed run right there to continue this comeback, and it was just a really nice piece of hitting there from Mookie Betts. Very aggressive at the plate, a 1-0 count, double on that sinker, 96 miles per hour, inner half. We saw Mookie missing that pitch earlier in this season, but not anymore. He's finding a way to drive that pitch at this stage of the season. So it's nice to see him really catch up to those high-velocity pitches on the inner half that we know he can rope into left field, and that's kind of the signature Mookie hit. So the Dodgers, they get a run there. That makes the score 4-3, and then Freddie Freeman, he draws a walk. And then Trey Turner, first pitch, he grounds into a double play. So that felt like it was really the beginning of the end of this game for the Dodgers, where you see Mookie Betts come through, Freddie Freeman draws that walk, and you got first and second with no outs, and then Trey Turner, he grounds into the double play. Mookie does advance to third on the play, and then Will Smith, he hits one hard, and 98.6 miles per hour off the bat, a 520 expected batting average, but he hits into that shift there, and that ends the inning. So we talked about the bottom of the 9th, and Bellinger going up there, getting that triple, CT3 taking that walk, and the first pitch. And then you talk about CT3 taking that walk, and then the first pitch to Gavin Lux, he takes it for a ball on the low and inside. In the second pitch, a fastball just elevated. He takes it for a ball. So that's the key for Gavin Lux. He puts himself into a hitter's count, and then he's more comfortable at the plate, and good things will happen. And he doubles right there to right on a 2-1 count. The Dodgers get the win. They get 2 runs on 2 hits there in the 9th. They take the finale. They salvage the series to an extent, and they win by a final score of 5-4. But back into the comment section here, guys. Any of your big takeaways? I think my big takeaways from this game are, look, hopefully this will turn things around for Gavin Lux, get him back on track at the plate, get his confidence back up. And look, he's got to put those errors behind him. I think it's a mental component to the way he plays defense. And I think he needs to clear his mind, just play his game, live in the moment, be where your feet are, so to speak, and just make those throws. Don't let balls get under your legs, kind of step into those throws, and I think Gavin Lux will be just fine. And then also seeing Cody Bellinger, he hits a home run this series. He also gets a triple there, so let's not worry about Cody Bellinger. I think just for Dodgers Nation as a whole, look, you're going to have ups and downs for a season. Yes, players are going to go through slumps. The Dodgers, let me remind you, they have some streaky players, Cody Bellinger and Chris Taylor. They have some streaky players, and these players are going to fall into slumps. So I think it's important that, yes, I get emotional myself, and I like to be a little dramatic sometimes too, but we can't always, let's trade this guy. This guy's terrible. This guy, let's bat him 10th if he's having a bad series. I mean, that's just the nature of this game. You have to try to keep these slumps as minimal as you possibly can, and you know this organization, when it comes to a data and analytics standpoint, when it comes to a coaching and developmental standpoint, that is what they're built to do, and you will see tiny adjustments all throughout the season. I was talking to a player on Thursday, and they told me that, look, half these adjustments that people like myself like to point out, we don't even see because they're so micro there. So look, you have to kind of factor that in as well. But let's jump back into the comment section. I'll let you guys enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Like I said, thanks for rocking with us after the Dodgers get the dramatic walk-off win, the Gavin Lux redemption game. The Dodgers win 5-4. They improved to 21-12 in 21-12 on the season. They're still first place in the NL West. Sounds good. I want to get a Shane Bieber. I want us to get Shane Bieber in a trade from Joseph Gonzalez. Yeah, I mean, Shane Bieber is definitely a really great pitcher. I think that if you're the the Guardians, wow, I'm going to get canceled for that. If you're the Guardians, I think you're a team that, I don't think they're not quite there yet. But D-Mac, your analogy about Luxie is right on the money. Thank you. Thanks for rocking with this, man. I appreciate it. But so who is the team that are you guys believers in the Yankees? Are you believers in the Angels? Kind of talk some other baseball before we head out of here. who do you think is the Dodgers' biggest threat? Who do you think is the Dodgers' biggest threat around the league? Are you a believer in the Bronx Bombers? Is this the year the Halos actually make the postseason? Do you think the Dodgers are still the best team in Major League Baseball? Who do you think is the best team in the league right now today? Let me know. Don Kim, Mookie Betts said the same thing about letting go of the should-haves and would-haves and move on to the next play. Gavin Lux learning to do the same thing. Yeah, I mean, look, Deion Sanders, prime time, he said the same thing. And they asked him, how are you such a great cornerback? Why are you the best cover corner in the history of the game? He said, well, because I have the shortest memory of any player in the game. You put plays like that behind you, especially if you're a defensive back in the NFL. Guys are going to make catches. You're going to make mistakes. I mean, it's the man in the arena theory. I mean, Theodore Roosevelt. I mean, if you're the man in the arena, it's a privilege. Pressure is a privilege. And, it comes with the territory. And, look, unfortunately, growing sometimes is painful. And I think Gavin Lux is still a young player on a team that is the favorite to win the World Series. A big spotlight on Lux. And anytime he does have an error, I mean, how about the throwing error when the Dodgers face the Diamondbacks that he threw Freddie Freeman wide the other few weeks ago? I mean, anytime he makes a defensive miscue, it's magnified because there are these stories about the yips when it comes to him and his defensive issues. So I think that you have to consider that as well. I mean, if Freddie Freeman makes an error or Trey Turner makes an error, you already trust what they're able to do as defenders because they've already proven themselves, so you don't talk about it as much. But just finished dinner. Our biggest threat is ourselves from Ryan. We got Boomer. Yankees are the best right now. Angels get one or two key injuries, and they're done. Yeah, they don't really have the margin for error. We got Daniel Braun, D-Mac, the hardest working man at Dodgers Nation. Appreciate you, go Dodgers. Hey, Daniel, we all grind it out here, man. We're all working hard, man. But I appreciate you, man. And it was great, man. This Sundays, no days off, man. For sure, you can't take a day off in Major League Baseball. I don't care if it's Saturday or Sunday because look. What if I was off today? What if I was off on this beautiful Sunday at the beach and I missed the most dramatic game of the year? That's never going to happen, I'll tell you that much. But that's where Lux began his spiral, Doug, from peak to peak. We got Artie Chico Grove just on Dodger postgame. He said he needed to make better pitches after Lux error. Yeah, I mean, that's a stand-up guy. And look, the accountability within this organization, you're not going to have the finger pointing. I guarantee you that. I mean, when these guys come up at the minor league level, they bond and they become really close, and they want nothing more than their teammates to have success. And I'm telling you, Michael Grove, he was probably sick to his stomach for Gavin Lux because he knows how Gavin Lux was feeling. And you saw when they showed him in the dugout, Gavin Lux going over there, kind of a little, kind of looked at him, said a little something, but nothing really had to be said because, look, Gavin Lux told me this himself. I'll tell you, Gavin Lux told me this himself. Gavin Lux told me, he said, you know what, shit happens. Shit happens on a baseball diamond, and that's why you play 162 games, right? And that's just what happens in this sport that we love so much is you just never know what's going to happen. I mean, look what happened with Stats the other night. I mean, you have the guy who's just the bottom of the lineup hitter changing the game for the Phillies. You don't really see that as often in other sports where you have these unsung heroes just having a game. I mean, baseball is going to baseball, and that's why we love it because it's like just such a wild sport. It's not for the faint of heart. But finally, a win from Don. We got Ryan, that's true. We got Dodgers, greatest team in baseball every year. Dodgers for life from Jesus. We got Grove didn't point the finger like Dallas Keuchel did to Tim Anderson when Keuchel blamed Anderson for the loss and earned runs. Joseph Gonzalez. Yeah, you don't do that. You don't show up your guys. I mean, look at Ross Stripling last year. I mean, that went viral when he did that. That's just it's pitching etiquette. It's good sportsmanship. And honestly, I don't think it helps you. I don't think it helps you because guess what? When you're still in the game, you're not at that inning yet. So do you really want to show up a player that – if you do that, you might hurt his confidence and the ball gets hit to him the next play and he makes another error and you're still out there on the mound, you're still suffering. So just from a tactical standpoint, it doesn't make very much sense as well. We got the Lux capacitor from Isaac, 2 nice. Nando, 390. Dodgers grooming Miller to be a bona fide starter. Plus Mays coming back in the second half for possible bullpen length. Absolutely. And Dusame is on track to return following the All-Star break, and the Dodgers do fully expect him to be a contributor out of that Dodgers pen and look for him to give you multiple innings, and maybe we'll see how the Dodgers use him. We saw him as an opener in the 2020 postseason, so they definitely are going to have a role for him as long as he's fully healthy. But here we go. We got exactly Doug throughout these 4 losses. Doug's words rang true about what being baseball, we get hot and we'll be a bit cold. Every team and player goes through it. Yeah, I mean, like I said, last year this team lost 4 straight. They got swept by the Padres, and then they got no hit at home for a team no-hitter. And what they do, they tied the franchise record in wins with 106. So that is why you play 162, and I think it's important to remind ourselves that when the Dodgers do go through a slump, and it does seem like times are tough because this team is very talented. This team fully expects to be in the mix to win the World Series by year's end. They prepare every single day to accomplish that goal, and I think when you look at this lineup top to bottom, there's a lot of high-character guys. There already were. You add Freddie Freeman. So this team, they have it together. It just, I think the arms were tired this series. I mean, you get a rough start from Walker Buehler, you get a rough start from Julio Urias, and then you bring Michael Grover, makes his big league debut from Double-A on a Sunday start. Then yesterday didn't go the Dodgers' way with Julio. He gets rocked, and then Bryce Harper, he's the hottest hitter on the planet, it feels like. So, look, I mean, things happen. But the Giants losing 9-0 in the top of the 5th, LOL from Norman Rowe. Yeah, I think I'm ready at this point to say that the Giants will not finish in the top 2 in the NL West. For my Giants fans, you know there's a lot of Giants fans that watch this show just to catch me slipping on something I said, to use it at me later, try to troll me, try to take me for ice cold, freezing cold take, stuff like that. I'm going to look directly at the camera and tell you that I firmly believe that barring injury, the Padres will finish second in the NOS behind the Dodgers, and it won't be the Giants. I think that Cinderella has turned into a black and orange pumpkin. I think the orange and black magic has started to run out. Yes, they're still going to get guys back like Longoria, and I think that Rodon, we'll see how he's able to pitch for an entire season last year. He really started to wear down. You saw that velocity dip, and they were pitching him on 6 days rest with the White Sox, so that thing is the big question. I think Logan Webb is a certified ace. Don't kid yourself on that one. I definitely believe that. But I think that the Giants take a step back, and usually you do take a step back. When you have a good year, you do take a step back and you regress a little bit, especially if you're a developing team. But we got Artie. Dodgers lost 3 games in a row for first time in a year and a half. Calm down, everyone. We have a solid pitching staff. Hope the 4, 5, 6 hitters start hitting. Giants fans are the worst. Anthony Keene. I like it, man. That's simple, but it's perfect. By the way, Celtics, we got to go Heat, right? Go Heat. Go Heat. We need the Heat to beat the Celtics. Giants fans want to continue living the glory of the even year run. Yeah, of course they do. But the reality is Dodgers have more World Series titles since they moved to the West Coast, and that's what it's all about. Here are my NL West predictions. Dodgers, Padres, Giants, Rockies, Diamondbacks. Jason, we got Dodgers, Diamondbacks, Giants, Padres, Rockies. Norman, Rodon was the starter for the game. He got blasted tonight. Thanks, Norman. I was preparing for this post-game show, so I didn't get to follow that, but I appreciate the updates on the hated ones, the FTGs, if you know what I'm saying. Mookie's getting really hot now. Yes, Mookie Betts, Marcus Lynn Betts. He is catching fire. You can cue up the fire. By the way, can you guys hear that fire sound? Can you hear the finish him?
Finish him.
Hear the Go Dodgers? Let me know if you guys can hear any of those sounds that I'm playing through YouTube, because I've been trying to get these sounds right. But yeah, Mookie Betts most certainly is heating up, and you're starting to see those power numbers go up. He gets a home run today. He has a double, gets the RBI double there late in the game, has the home run earlier in the game, and gets the Dodgers on the board. And, yeah, Mookie Betts is really starting to play with that franchise player. But, Doug, what does FTG stand for? Please say each word clearly. LOL, hey, this is a family show. Okay, you know I can't. As far as I can go. You got the fire. You hear? Okay, cool, sweet. You guys heard the fire. Finish him. Okay, D-Mac, please shout out my daughter. Blue, she loves the Dodgers. Hey, shout out to your Dodger. Shout out to your Dodger daughter. Shout out to your daughter who loves the Dodgers. A little bit of a tongue twister there. Hope she's enjoying her Sunday. Yes, so you can hear them. Okay, cool. Yeah, I got some sound. So anytime you guys bring the fire takes, you're going to get this. Anytime you guys have a fire burn, if you know talks some smack about the Giants, the Astros, or anything, you're going to get to finish him.
Finish him.
Anytime the Dodgers do something great, a take that I agree with you on, we're going to Let's Go Dodgers. Anytime you say something that makes me laugh, that's almost like a cringy, not a cringy, something that makes me laugh that's kind of like inappropriate, you'll get a. Well, that was not working. but it's bruh.
You win.
So I'm going to work on some of my sounds. But, yeah, thanks, guys. Thanks for rocking with us, man. Exciting game. I know you guys have some Game 7s to watch in the NHL, in the NBA, and we're going to be back all season long. We're going to be back this week with more post-game shows. Like I said, thanks to you guys, we've been able to double the amount of shows this year because you've been loyal listeners and watchers of this show. Like I said, I'm the man of the fan, and I'm here to get your takes, and we kind of break down Dodger baseball as one. But, yeah, a great way to end this weekend after a frustrating week of Dodger baseball. So it's nice to head into the new week knowing the Dodgers got that big, dramatic walk-off win. So shout out to Gavin Lux. And, yeah, man, thanks, guys, and see you next time. My name is Doug McCain. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DMAC_LA. If you're new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. If you really want to support the channel, smash that like button. A couple more here, we'll head out of here. So you're the GOAT, DMAC. You're the GOAT, Genie. And thank you later, Doug. Bye, all. Dylan, thanks, D-Mac. Till next time, Don Kim, the Roundtable Talks are fire. Oh, thank you, Dom. Let's go Dodgers. I'll give you one of these. Viral, see you at the Ravine tomorrow. Thanks, Doug. Thanks, Rebecca. Take care. Doug, take care, LLC. Till next time. Yeah, thanks, guys. Best fans in the game. We'll get them next time, and let's sweep the Snakes next week. And that's for you, my friend over on Isaac 2 Nights. But thanks, guys. See you next time. And until next time, as always, think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.
It's time for